how to get your own 2290 in your name. Guys, I'm making this video because time and time again, I see a lot of owner-operators who actually have 2290s. They paid for them. They were actually deducted from their settlement, but they're not in their names, and then unfortunately, they're unable to use them. So that's going to happen when they're either going to transition from one carrier to another, and now they're trying to get on the plate program and no dice. Another time is now you decided to open up your own IRP account and it's within the window there, and now you're unable to do so because it's not in your name. All right, so what does a 2290 look like? It's going to be right here. I'm sorry, I lost you here. Here we go. 2290s are going to look just like this. So there's a couple of things that we got to focus on. And this is for the people who are just getting their very first 2290 because they're new to trucking as well. So if you'll notice at the top, one thing to pay attention to is that they run from July until June. A lot of people get misled that they expire sometime in March, maybe April, September. They think that it follows the expiration of the IRP or the plate. It does not. It's actually every single 2290 is going to be from July until June. So let's say you bought your truck sometime in September, right? So what's going to happen there, it's going to be prorated because you're only going to pay from September to June. So that's how that's going to work. All right, so now that we got through that, how do you get this document? How do you get to here? That's what a lot of people are dying to know. So basically, the first thing you have to know, the big boy application looks just like this from IRS directly. It's a little intimidating if you've never done it before or if there's nobody to walk you through it. But they do have third-party vendors that actually can help you get there a lot quicker and with convenience. So rather than making that appointment and going to IRS office and losing a day and all that good stuff, they do have third-party vendors, and now you're able to do it online. So here we go. Voyager Nation, this is our website. Feel free to visit, poke around, do what you need to do. But if you're going to notice on the top right-hand corner, it's going to say File Your 2290. You're going to go ahead and click that. So this is not my service. It's actually a third-party vendor. The reason I did that is for the convenience of my guys. They actually like to do their own. They're very simple fee, right? All these third-party vendors, what you're only paying them for is the process. The process to fill it out on their platform, and then it's going to send it over to IRS and get verified, and then you're able to print it up within minutes of actually completing it. So that's what you're actually paying for. You're not paying them the $550. You're actually going to set that up within the process, and Uncle Sam's going to take his $550. All right, so once you're here, you're going to either start a new filing, which will take you right over this page. All right, and so what's going to happen there is once you create your credentials, let's go ahead and get in here. Okay. So once you're in here, congratulations. We can get the party started. So it's going to ask you basic info. Now, the biggest thing that we got to pay attention to, people, is that this does require a EIN number. You cannot do this with your social. It happens to be the same amount of digits. However, your social will not allow you to purchase this. Now, what's going to happen, guys, is there are plenty of guys who don't use an EIN number for business, which is fine. You can apply for one. It's totally free. We can get that in a couple of minutes. I'm going to show you how to get that done. And even if you use your EIN number just to purchase your 2290, and then you store it somewhere, put it away, and never use it again, or you do whatever it is, and the only reason you have it is for a 2290, you can go ahead and do that. Okay, so the 2290 is actually based on that EIN number, and the EIN number is going to be with Uncle Sam. So if you go to irs.gov, right, it's going to be this form here, the SS4 form, okay? And looks intimidating as well, but again, you don't have to go to their to their office to get it done. You're able to do something like this online as well. So let's go to irs.gov. So here we go. Apply for your employee ID number. So you're going to go ahead and click on that. right? And then you're going to go ahead and apply for your EIN. All right. So one of the things that you have to pay attention to, guys, is that you want to make sure that if the title is in your business name, you also want your EIN to match that. If your title is in your business, you can go ahead and get your EIN number in your if your title is in your name, you can go ahead and get your EIN in your name. You know, that's a simple one there. However, some guys have, you know, they have a business already, but the title is not in the business name. Well, then you're going to use the articles of incorporation to tie everything together, but your name should appear on your articles. So either way, your name, your business name, you know, you get to decide that piece. All right, so you're going to begin your application. You got a couple options here. You got sole proprietor, partnerships, corporations, limited liability companies, estates, and trusts. So remember, if you're the individual that is simply doing this just to buy your 2290 and then you don't need this again, you're going to hit sole proprietor. You're going to hit continue. Sole proprietor again. A couple questions here. You're going to hit next. You're starting a new business. Again, even if you're not, you know, you're going to do your taxes the same as you were doing. Nothing is going to happen. You're just creating an EIN for the ability to purchase your 2290. All right, then you're going to fill out your name. You're going to go through some questions and so forth. And eventually you're going to end up with this form. Now, what's important about this form and what you should be paying attention to is the following. Once it's issued to you, which happens basically immediately, you're going to have two options to either get it emailed to yourself, mailed to you, right? Or you can print it PDF. I always print the PDF, and you're going to want to hold on to it, because the reason you want to hold on to it, it's a difficult document to get. If you lose it and you want to get your hands on this thing again, it's going to be a process. You're more than likely going to have to go into an office, make an appointment, and they're going to have to give you the letter that you have an EIN number issued to your name. So for demonstration purposes, I created this one here. Again, I completed the EIN. It gave me my tax ID number that's right there, my EIN number that's right there, and I did it in my name. So Christian Martinez is the sole proprietor with my address. So if you had a business and that's what you're doing, it would be your EIN number to your business, right? It's however you're structured, however you're going to do it, but it's important to pay attention to this form right here. So this is your SS4, right? So we have that in place. All right, so now once we have that, we're going to go back to our page here as we're going to file this 2290. All right, so you're going to have a couple options. Your first thing is your business type. You got sole proprietor, single member LLC, sole proprietor or single member LLC. Some people are S corps or LLC as an S corp. So those are your typically two common ones, but for the most part, we're going to go with this sole proprietor right here. So remember on your EIN, right? What was it that we wrote? Remember, it's got to be able to match my name to this form. Okay, so here we go. So and the beauty about this, you're getting a little bit of a preview right here of what it looks like. Let's say I also have a DBA, because that might be a thing, right? So we're gonna go with, you know, let's say that was a thing as well. You have space in order to do that. Again, it's going to depend on your situation, but for demonstration purposes, I'm just getting it in my name and so forth. All right, you're going to put your EIN number in. All right, so if you're going to notice right here, it's pre-populating what your EIN is going to be looking like. You're also going to pay attention that the address and the name is all matching the EIN, how we completed it in the beginning. Okay. All right. So then you're going through the basic questions here. Okay. Phone number 633425171. In case you guys need to call me, there we go. All right. It's going to now take you to this, create a new tax return. I'm going to e-file for one vehicle, all right, which is the one I just bought. Okay, so now this part here is going to ask you, when did you buy this bad boy, right? So let's say I'm paying for this 24 to 25. Now I got all these bad boy choices. So let's say I've been running since July, right? And so I put July because I've been running with it. I'm barely now just getting it in my name because, you know, I have this issue at hand. All right. So this is another lovely feature they have right here. 1XKY 9 XXEJ 394631. All right. So what this does too, it dummy proofs it for guys like me with dyslexia. It allows you to, all right, this is a 2014 KW, so I'm all good here. It verifies that I did not make a mistake on that VIN number. So I'm going to file, as far as the weight, I get it. All these other ones are going to reduce the price, but we are always V as in Victor, right? Schedule V. So total gross weight, everything combined is going to be that. You can, optional, put your unit number, that's up to you. So you're going to notice that that's 550. Now, I did mention this is prorated, so some people actually purchased their truck, let's say in September. That was the example I gave before. So if you purchased it in September, you're obviously not paying the full price. Let's say you purchased it in January, you just got it this month. It's a prorated number, so it's only $275 for you. Now in July, you're going to pay the $550 from 25 to 26. So pay attention to that. So, you know, you didn't use the vehicle in the beginning of the end of this 24. So that's how that works, right? So depending on when you bought the truck, that's going to drive the price of what you're going to be paying. So let's leave it in January and let's keep going. You're also going to get a couple of options here. So these options here are, how are you going to pay? Electronic funds, check, money order, third-party provider. They will pay. So, you know, most guys use that credit card right away. Let's just say, let's just rock and roll with that. All right. So it says no errors. So here's what's happening. This is what's important to understand. This is still incomplete because, again, this is just an example of how this is going to work. But what this is going to happen, this is going to transmit the information over to IRS. IRS is then going to verify, right, the name control. And what they're checking is your EIN number with your name and how you completed your SS4 form, making sure that that's legit. Now, this is important to pencil down. If you just opened your EIN, the status here is going to show rejected, because your EIN has to be in existence for a minimum of 10 business days in order to use these type of services. Sometimes a little more, depends, like you know, I think Monday was a holiday or something like that, so that may have not counted. So again, you want to pay attention to that. You can still file it, but it'll be rejected, and all you got to keep doing is hitting refresh, and on the 11th day, you're obviously going to get what you need. But just so you're aware of that, your EIN number has to be in existence for a minimum of 10 business days. So I would plan accordingly, because if you know you're picking up a truck, you know, on Monday, just be sure of it, because once you put the VIN number in here, now you got to make a correction. You need to do all that. But if you're sure of the suit and that's going to be the truck, then you can go ahead and start that. What I would actually do is probably just get my EIN open, let that bad boy sit, and then when I buy the truck, I would complete the rest of this. That's just the way I would do it, but that's up to you guys. So here, I'm going to go review it, what would need to happen. So we're here, no errors as of now. And then this is the point where I would pay, right? So I'm paying again only for the service for them to send this to IRS and then get me back my $22.90, right? So what happens, what I actually did is everything you saw right there, all I did was fill out this bad boy form here online in a simpler way so that I could eliminate a lot of the mistakes, right? So once that bad boy is done, it's going to give me an option to print my PDF version of my $22.90. So here's what's important. you're actually going to get this. It's going to match, right? You're going to see that it expires in June, just like we needed. And you're going to see my EIN number right there in the top right hand corner. It's going to match my name, my address, Schedule V as in Victor, the VIN number of the truck. And this right here is the watermark with the stamp of when we got it done. Pardon me. So this watermark has to be legible. Because if it's not, it's going to be, no one's going to process your plate. You're not going to get on carrier tags. So remember, you're going to get a PDF version mailed to you instantly, like within minutes after you pay. Once that happens, what you want to do is just save it, because you're going to need that later. Tuck it away, put it in a folder somewhere. I would print a few copies of it. But what I do see happens is, like, somebody prints a copy, they have a copy of a copy, and then this watermark starts to disappear the more copies you make, and then people are unable to do that. So if somebody has lost their 2290, which I run into that all the time, and it's not usable, I always tell them, go into your emails, search in the subject 2290. You do a little bit of scrolling, and you'll probably find the original email as to when they emailed this to you too, and that's an easy access to your 2290. And again, you don't even have to call your carrier now, because you have all the tools in order to be successful. All right. So once you have this is what you're able to furnish. And here we go, guys. It's that simple. Not sure if people have had complications. Put in the comments below any kind of questions you may have. Again, if you got some questions, you want to give us a call, it's 863-342-5171. If you liked that third-party vendor, go right there on my website, voyagernation.com, and then on the top right-hand corner, it's going to be for filing your 2290. Looking to get some more videos out there as well, how to fill out the application for your IRP. I know they recently went through some changes, so they want a few more documents. I got a list of that as well. There's a bunch of stuff in trucking that sometimes we need a little bit of guidance in. So if you guys are looking for a specific video, please put that in the comments below, and we'll get to that as quick as we can. Remember, the more you know, the stronger you are. As an owner-operator, the more you're independent, the better you are. So be safe, drive safe, keep trucking. See you soon.